Hey guys, so we back with another video. You feel me? Please like, subscribe, turn on post notifications, and I hope you enjoy the video. Without further ado, let's get into it. The most painful gym deaths ever. How was I supposed to react to this by myself? I just realized that.
The barbell incident.
Oh wait,
It was the early hours of a Tuesday
this is something completely different. I don't clicked on the wrong thing, but it's whatever.
morning in St. Charles, Missouri. The gym was entirely silent, and it was the kind of silent that only came when the world outside was asleep. At around 2:50 a.m., a young 23-year-old woman would be the only one in the gym finishing what should have been just another workout. She was a paramedic, the kind of person used to helping people, saving lives, and bringing the injured to safety. The woman would step into a Smith machine and rack weight onto its barbell, and then she began squatting it. The only issue was that the weight was too much for her. In the middle of her set, she began struggling. She tried hard to re-rack the weight, but no matter how hard she pushed, the bar wouldn't go up. Then, in an instant, her legs gave out. She lost balance and the heavy bar dropped with no spotter to catch it. The machine pinned her down, trapping her beneath the crushing weight. And unfortunately, since she was the only one in the gym, nobody was around to hear or see her struggle. For nearly half an hour...
And this is why they say you are not supposed to do crazy weight when nobody is around. Me, if I'm gonna mess around and do, I'm not gonna go push my max or nothing like that. I'm going to do what I know I can comfortably do for however many reps and sets without anybody being there to help me. If I can do, I don't care if I know I can do 500. I know I can push out five of them Johns. I'm not going to do it unless somebody is there to squat me. So I'm going to take it down a lot. Now let's be more realistic, right? I think I can bench like 200 or 170, something like that. 170, 200, something like that. So I know that's about my max. So I'm going to bring it down a lot and go about 130. You know what I'm saying? If I feel like I can go up from there, then I'll probably go up a little bit more. But once I feel like this is enough, that's it. I'm not going to do no more because stuff like this. Same.
She laid
definitely with squatting
under the pressure of the
but
weight.
I'm thinking, why didn't she just, when you squatting, why didn't she just let it fall back? Like, just drop it. Because you're squatting, you're going up. Just let it fall back.
Before another gym member finally walked in and found her. But by then, it was already too late. The member tried to help and called 911, but by the time paramedics arrived, they couldn't do anything for her. Her co-workers at the Christian hospital remembered her as vibrant, full of energy, and always lighting up the room with her smile. But that promise, that brightness, was extinguished in a freak accident that lasted only seconds. Even in a place meant for health and strength, danger can hide in plain sight. If you're lifting heavy weights, always remember to bring a partner. There's been a number of times where I've gotten trapped underneath weight without a spotter, but I was fortunate enough to have friendly passerbys help me out. So even if you don't have a partner to work out with, try to work out when the gym is
or work out when people's there. So you know.
May this woman's soul rest in peace.
Yeah,
the leg press incident.
Ooh, I love me a leg press, boy. If you ask me, leg press might be better than squatting. Leg press just might be better than squatting, bro. If you know what you're doing. I feel like I just get such a good burn with leg press, bro. On leg press, I swear to you, bro, I just be putting more and more on. Like, I'll start at like 150, sometimes 200, and I'll just go up from there. Like, leg press, I think my max is like 250, 300, but I go crazy on leg press.
In Vadodara, India, a middle-aged man
I haven't done it in a minute, though, so probably not going crazy no more.
He moved.
Well, actually, bro, I've been working. You stand up a lot, working and moving around, so my leg's probably pretty strong.
One exercise to another until he finally settled in front of the leg press machine, a piece of equipment built to test and improve raw lower body strength.
Ooh, I'm telling you,
the man began racking weight
that thing worked
until it was fully loaded with plates stacked heavy on both sides. Ahmad climbed in.
Now this is, I ain't gonna lie, I do this by myself, and I will go. There are times I've done it with friends and stuff like that, but this is usually something I do by myself, and I'm talking about nobody, like kind of like how most of these people are. There's nobody there. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, and I'll go 300, and if I'm like, damn, I could do 300. How much more we got? There's a 20 there. There's a 20 there. Can I do 320? Or I guess that would be 340. But can I do 340? You know what I'm saying?
Like, back against the pad, and began pressing. At first, everything seemed fine. Surprisingly, as his legs pushed the machine, the estimated 1,100 pounds he was leg pressing actually moved. But then came the moment of truth, re-racking the load. He tried to lock the machine and began struggling. In an instant, his legs buckled. The massive weight came crashing down, snapping his left leg backwards with a sickening crack. The gym floor filled with screams as people rushed toward the mangled machine, the horror of the injury plain for everyone to see. But, by some miracle, the man survived. Nonetheless, the leg press still had done its damage. It had left him with a horrible, gruesome injury.
How does that happen, though? Because, okay, at my gym, right, we got a leg press. This is obviously at my boxing gym. It goes down, but it's a certain point it stops at. So I guess I can understand how his leg would be broken, but it does stop at a certain point. So I guess if it's coming down and it's a lot of weight and it's just like boom, I guess I can understand how it would break his legs. Because obviously, because there were times where I'm like, ooh, okay, this is enough. Or I've seen people be like, okay, hold on, I can't put it back up. And they'll slowly bring it down to like it's at its max. And then it's just like, okay, get up and you know what I'm saying? And then they'll get up, But I don't know. I don't understand how his leg broke. But I guess I can understand if it's a lot of weight and it just comes down quick. That would make sense.
And a lesson that would haunt him forever. Don't ego lift. It's not worth your legs. The shake incident. It was the end of New Year's Eve in Wales. An aspiring musician.
How was that worse than a lady dying?
And fitness enthusiast had completed his day and decided to finish the night off by preparing a protein shake to drink. As you could guess, this was something he had done countless times before, but this time he would try something new, because after all, it was New Year's. His friend recommended that he add a specific powder into his shake, and excited to test it out, the man put a teaspoon of the powder into his drink, blended it, and began drinking it. And then, nothing happened. The drink was just a little bitter, and so he sent a text message to his friend complaining about its taste, but other than that, he was fine. Then the man went to sleep to end his night. Unfortunately, he wouldn't live to see the next morning. You see, the powder the man put in his protein shake was just caffeine.
Oh.
But it wasn't the regulated kind that you'd find in your Starbucks coffee. It was pure, raw caffeine. He only put just a teaspoon of it in.
See, I ain't gonna lie, caffeine is definitely needed in my opinion when you're like for pre-workout and stuff like that, especially if you work out in the morning. If you're working out in the morning or you're working out like late night, bro, you get some caffeine in your system. I think that's some of the best, along with the creatine and all the other stuff, bro. I feel like my pre-workout that I use has caffeine in it. Now, obviously, there's a certain amount, you can't go too high or you're gonna, your heart's gonna stop. But
to his drink, which doesn't necessarily sound that bad. That is, until you realize that one of those teaspoons was equivalent to 70 cans of Red Bull, and he just gulped it down in one sitting. The man shot up awake in a cold sweat. Almost immediately, his body began revolting. His heart was pounding violently, his vision became blurry, and his chest began constricting as if an anaconda was wrapped around him. He raced to the bathroom and began vomiting. His system had been overloaded with a stimulant so powerful that there was essentially nothing that could be done to stop it. Within seconds,
So FYI, guys, make sure you read stuff before you buy it or before you put it into anything that you gotta eat. If you don't know what it is, buy it. Because his friends were probably not even on some bull. They're probably like, yeah, you should try it. It works out for me. Because they know what they're buying. Yeah, it's that raw caffeine. So they know like, oh yeah, that works. He probably wasn't reading or thought about it. So he probably just put a bunch in there when you're not supposed to. Because he probably already had pre-workout or whatever he put in there before that already had caffeine. So on top of the teaspoon adding more in there, you're not supposed to add that much.
Collapsed to the ground, hitting his head on the floor and going into cardiac arrest. Later on in the morning, his parents would...
Even if there was none in there, he still shouldn't have did that.
They called 911 and paramedics rushed to his home, but there was nothing they could do. The cause of the tragedy was later revealed to be the simplicity of one mistake. The scoop he used to measure the caffeine powder was actually meant for protein, not for a fine, potent stimulant.
Yeah.
This incident sparked up a huge controversy.
But that's the thing. I've had a couple of things that usually don't come with it. Like... You'll go and get some pre-workout and it doesn't come with a scoop. And it's like, I think all pre-workouts, cat, whatever, I think it should come with a scoop because that's how much you're supposed to be putting in there. You know what I'm saying? So it should all come with a scoop.
Controversy over the ethics of making something this dangerous.
Or at least it should, like, tell me how much or something. But most people not going to read it.
Accessible as it was. Many argued that powders like these shouldn't be sold on shelves if such a tiny mistake could come with such a costly consequence.
We have got to the point where literally anybody can build a fully working app without knowing how to code. This is base 44.
I actually agree with them on that one.
The death grip is a risky form of holding a barbell. When you pick up the weight for bench press, instead of wrapping your thumb around the bar and securing it in place, some gym goers remove their thumbs and place them to the side. People say that this way of bench pressing helps them focus on pushing the weight more. Others claim that it makes their triceps activate. Nonetheless, It's a stylistic way of benching that is extremely dangerous. And on a Monday, at a gym in Ankeny, Iowa, a 22-year-old student at Iowa State University would find this out the hard way. The weights clanged, the music thumped, and lifters pushed themselves through the grind. For this young man, the bench press was just another part of his normal routine. It was something that he had done countless times before. That day, he made sure to fully load the bar to 315 pounds in an attempt to beat his PR max. With the plates 3 on each side, this was the kind of weight that demands respect. The man laid back and gripped the bar. But in order to really focus on doing his absolute best in this bench press, he switched his normal grip to a death grip, then unracked it. He took a deep breath, and for a moment, everything seemed normal. But before he could even attempt to bench the weight, in an instant, his grip gave way. The barbell slipped from his hands. The full 315 pounds came crashing down across his jaw, neck, and chest with unstoppable force. The sound echoed through the
Why he yell like that? Like, come on, man.
Gym as lifters rushed toward him. Massive internal injuries were already done. His spotter and bystanders fought to pull the bar off, but the damage was irreversible. The man was rushed to the hospital, but despite everything doctors tried, he passed away from his injuries. His coach later said, "He was lifting weights, something I did with him 1,000 times." But that's the cruel truth of the bench press. It doesn't take recklessness, only a second of misfortune. I hit the gym frequently, and I won't lie, I usually find myself using a death grip whenever I'm doing bench press. But the truth is, no lift is worth your life. Always use a safe grip, have a spotter, and never gamble with 300 pounds of steel. The gym should build you up, not bury you. May this man's soul rest in peace. The dumbbell incident. It was a late evening inside a small gym in Medapalli, Telangana.
That's a nice gym.
The clients had finished their training, the weights were racked, and the silence was broken only by the clink of iron as a 34-year-old trainer and owner cleaned up his facility. But then, out of nowhere, the calm was shattered. 3 men walked into the facility, and for some odd reason, an argument broke about between the two parties. As the feud reached a boiling point, without warning, one of the men grabbed a heavy dumbbell and drove it into his face, instantly obliterating the man's head. The men began smashing the trainer's body with dumbbells, striking his chest again and again, with each blow being more devastating than the last. The trainer's body was left mangled on the ground, and the place that he had once built to help people improve their bodies and strength now became his final battleground. The assailants fled immediately after, but luckily they were caught by the gym's security camera as they disappeared into the night.
I need to see what these men look like.
Hospital, but the injuries were too severe. Doctors fought to save him, but he succumbed during treatment. Investigators believe the motive may have been personal, a suspected love affair, or twisted grudge. Something definitely not worth a human life. The tanning incident. On a quiet Friday evening, a 39-year-old Indianapolis man walked into a Planet Fitness on Hardigan Street. He checked in, went about his routine, and got ready to leave after finishing everything he needed to finish. But before he left, he decided to make a quick stop in the gym's tanning bed to give his skin a nice finish. It was quick. The man hopped into the tanning bed and was blasted by tanning lights for 10 minutes, left the gym, went back home, and slept happily ever after. Except that's not what happened. You see, the man's car was left parked in the gym's lot. It never left. And his family became extremely worried when he didn't return home for a day. One day turned into 3 days, and before you knew it, the truth finally came out. The man struggled with an addiction that I can't mention on YouTube. It's speculated that the man had consumed some of the substance before slipping into the tanning bed. And while the machine tanned his skin, he quickly realized that he had consumed too much of the illegal substance. He began convulsing while trying to escape the tanning bed, but it would be to no avail. For 3 whole days, the man would remain stuck inside with his body trapping the energy from the device's UV lights, causing him to become disfigured. Finally, a staff member of the Planet Fitness discovered his body locked inside.
Boy, why he look like that alien they found? Rest in peace. But on here, they did make him look like the alien. You know what I'm saying? The fan, you know what I'm saying?
Tanning bed. He had been there since Friday, alone, silent, and hidden in plain sight.
How was he there so long?
Authorities were immediately called when they found him, and by the time police and investigators pieced it together, questions were everywhere. Why did it take so long for someone to find him? Why did no alarms go off? And was it really just the substance he consumed that caused him to become stuck in the tanning bed? His mother later confirmed he had been struggling with an addiction, but she still remembered him as the kindest person with the softest heart. The gym is where you shape yourself into the best version of who you can be. It's a place that builds not only strength, but also health and happiness. But none of that matters without safety. Safety always comes first. Train with a spotter when you can.
Fire video, guys. Be safe when you're going to the gym. And, yeah, happy holidays. I hope you guys did enjoy this video. And I'll be back with you with another one.